Good morning, my name is Annalou M. Pangkaya and this is my oral report in PED 1, the Children and Adolescent Learner and Learning Week 7 to 9 lessons. So in Week 7, we have Unit 3 Development Theories and Other Relevant Theories with the topic Culver's Theory of Moral Development. So Lawrence Culver, a psychologist who was born in Broxville, New York, taught for many years at Harvard. His theory of moral development builds on the work of Jean Piaget. Piaget believes that children are born without a moral consciousness, but from the age of 4 to 7, rudely develop the first stage of morality, in which they see justice and rules of behavior as fixed in the grand scheme of things, beyond any human control. In the second stage, which many children have reached by 10 or so, they see rules and laws as made by human and somewhat flexible, depending on the intent of those who may break them. Culver believed that moral development depended on moral reasoning and was learned in 3 levels, so each having 2 stages. First is pre-conventional reasoning, a moral reasoning directed initially by the expectation of punishment from external sources and later by an interest in personal reward. So in level 1, we have the stage 1, obedience and punishment behavior driven by avoiding punishment, and stage 2, individual interest behavior driven by self-interest and rewards. So in level 2, we have the conventional reasoning. It is initially to get approval and later in response to law and a sense of duty. So it has the stage 3, interpersonal behavior driven by social approval, and the stage 4, authority behavior driven by obeying authority and conforming to social order. In level 3, we have the post-conventional reasoning, a moral reasoning guided by community versus individual rights, and later by universal principle of ethics. It has the stage 5, social contract behavior driven by balance of social order and individual rights, and also the stage 6, universal ethics behavior driven by internal moral principle. Culver's theory has been criticized for emphasizing moral thoughts more than moral behavior for cultural bias. This Western definition of justice does not carry across all cultures, for a perceived lack of reliability and validity in study methodology, and for its failure to consider strongly enough the role of family and culture in the development of moral reasoning. The care perspective emphasizes relationship with the concern for others as the context of moral development. So in Week 8, Unit 3 Developmental Theories and Other Relevant Theories with the topic of Vygotsky Sociocultural Theory. So Vygotsky Sociocultural Theory. So Vygotsky Sociocultural Theory grew from the work of seminal psychologist Lev Vygotsky, who believed that parents, caregivers, peers, and the culture at large were responsible for developing high-order functions. According to Vygotsky, learning has its basis in interacting with other people. Once this had occurred, the information is then integrated on the individual level. Sociocultural focuses not only on how adults and peers influence learning, but also on how cultural belief and attitude affects how learning takes place. Vygotsky worked on his theory around the same time as Piaget, in between the 1920s and 30s, but they had clear differences in their views about cognitive development. Vygotsky described the learning of each individuals are coming from the adult's participation. Parents, teacher, and peers played a big role in this process to model and assisting the child. So first is cultural factors. Vygotsky believed in the crucial role that culture played on the cognitive development of children. Piaget believed that as the child develops and matures, he goes through a universal stage of cognitive development that allows him to move from simple exploration with sense and muscles to complex reasoning. Vygotsky, on the other hand, looked into the wide range of experience that a culture would give to a child. For instance, one culture view about education, how children are trained early in life, all can contribute to cognitive development of the child. Second is language. Language is opening the door for learners to acquire knowledge that others already have. Learner can use language to know and understand the world and solve problems. Language serves a social function, but it is also has important individual function. Vygotsky believed in the essential role activities that when listening passively, learning by doing is even made more fruitful when children interact with knowledgeable adult peers. In week 9, you need to develop mental theories and other relevant theories with the topic Bronfenbrenner ecological theory. Bronfenbrenner model, also known as a biological system theory, represents child development within the context of relationship system that comprise the child environment. It describes a multi-part layer of environment that has an effect on the development of the child. Environment of the child affecting of child's development, but we're not just looking the environment alone. We must look also the larger environment whereas the child has day-to-day interactions. This is the Bronfenbrenner's bioecological model structure of environment. First is the microsystem. It is the system close to the person and one in which he has a direct contact, for example, the family, schools, friends, and neighbors. This structure covers the child's immediate environment. So second is the mesosystem. This layer serves as the connection between the structure of the child's microsystem. For example, the mesosystem will include the link of connection between the parents and teachers, or the parents and health community, and the church. Third is the exosystem. This layer refers to the bigger social system in which the child does not function directly. Example, it includes the city government, the workplace, and the media. The structure in this layer may influence the child's microsystem. Lastly is the macrosystem. This layer is found in the outermost part of the child's environment. So the macrosystem includes the cultural values, costume, and laws.